My girlfriend said, "Decide by this weekend or I am leaving." I replied, "Then I choose myself." Then I packed her things, put her boxes by the door, left a note about buying a ring for myself, and I just watched as she came back from her ex and realized I had chosen a life without her. AF Tales is back with another story. This one is about a man whose girlfriend gives him a marriage ultimatum while quietly lining up her cheating ex as a backup plan. As you listen, ask yourself what you would choose if the price of keeping the relationship was your self-respect. I am 29 years old and work in IT consulting. Until a few days ago, I thought my life was on a clear path. My girlfriend Amber and I had been together for 2 years. We met at a friend's barbecue, bonded over terrible Netflix documentaries, and moved in together after 8 months. Our place was a small one-bedroom in the city, barely enough closet space for one person, never mind two. Amber worked in marketing with long days and an unpredictable schedule. Recently, she had been coming home later and later, talking about client dinners and strategy meetings. I believed her. I had no reason not to. We had talked about getting engaged. She sent me Pinterest boards of rings. Our parents knew each other. We were meant to be building a future. At least, that is what I thought. Over the last month, something shifted. She became distant and irritable. She started arguments over dishes in the sink, over me working late on Thursdays, over not planning enough spontaneous dates. I tried harder. I made reservations at her favorite places, brought home flowers, checked in on how she was feeling. Every time she said she was just stressed about work. Then came Thursday night. I got home early for once, picked up Thai food from her favorite place and was setting the table when she walked in. She did not smile. She did not even comment on the food. She dropped her purse on the counter and crossed her arms. "We need to talk," she said. That sentence almost never leads anywhere good. At this point, many people ignore the knot in their stomach and keep trying to please. That was me. I asked what was going on. She said she had been thinking about us and needed to know if I was serious about the relationship. I told her I was, that we had talked about getting married. She said talking was not enough, that she was almost 30 and could not wait around forever while I decided if she was good enough. I told her I had been saving for a ring. She laughed in a sharp, bitter way and asked how convenient that was. I asked her where this was all coming from. That was when she said very calmly that Aaron had reached out to her. Aaron was her ex from college. They dated for 3 years. He cheated on her with someone from his study group. I had listened to her cry about him more than once. I knew the story well. She said he had apologized, said he had gone to therapy and worked on himself. He wanted to meet for coffee. I asked if she had gone. She said not yet, but she was thinking about it. It was strange to hear her defend the man she used to say ruined her trust. She even said maybe she had not given him what he needed back then, that she could see his side now. I asked what she was really saying. She stepped closer and told me she needed me to make a decision. Either I proposed or she would go back to Aaron, who was ready to commit and knew what he wanted. She gave me a deadline, until the weekend. Propose or she was gone. This was not a conversation about feelings. It was a transaction. Prove your love on my timeline or I will walk. Part of me wanted to tell her to get out right then. Another part, the part that had spent 2 years building a life with her, felt panicked. I told her that was not how this worked, that she could not threaten to leave and expect me to obey. She said she was not threatening, just being honest. She said she loved me but needed more than promises. Then she grabbed her purse and said she needed space. The door slammed behind her. I stood in the kitchen surrounded by cooling pad thai and red curry, feeling like someone had pulled the floor out from under me. My phone buzzed. It was my friend Tyler asking if I wanted drinks the next day. I told him yes, that I really needed to talk. Friday morning, I called in sick. I had not slept. Amber had come home around midnight, gone straight to the bedroom and locked the door. I spent the night on the couch, replaying everything. Around 9, she came out dressed in the outfit she knew I loved. Black jeans, gray sweater, hair done. I asked where she was going. She said she was meeting a friend for brunch. When I asked which friend, she hesitated and then asked if it mattered if it was Aaron. I said yes, it did. She said she needed to figure things out, reminded me I had until tomorrow night to decide what I wanted and left. I sat there for about 10 minutes. Anger built up, but so did something else. Clarity. Then something clicked. A strange calm came over me. This was the first moment I chose myself instead of the fear of losing her. I texted Tyler and said I needed his truck that afternoon. He agreed, confused but willing. Then I started packing. I went through the apartment and gathered everything that was hers. Her clothes, which were not many because she had never fully moved in. Her toiletries. Her books. The decorative pillows I secretly hated. The lease was in my name. The furniture was mine. The deposit was mine. She had moved in with a suitcase and attitude, and that was basically what she would leave with. Tyler arrived with his truck around noon and asked what we were doing. I told him we were moving Amber out and explained the ultimatum. He got quieter the more I talked, then just shook his head. We carried the boxes downstairs and stacked them neatly by the building entrance. When we were done, I went back upstairs and wrote a note. Amber, you said to decide by the weekend. I have. You wanted me to go buy a ring, so I did. I am buying one for myself, to remind me never to settle for someone who uses threats instead of conversations. Your stuff is outside. I will leave your key with the doorman. I hope Aaron is everything you think he is, but if not, do not come back. We are done. I taped the note to the biggest box. Tyler offered to stay, but I told him to go. I wanted to be alone when she saw it. She came home around 7. I heard her voice downstairs, then her footsteps running up. She pounded on the door, demanding I open it and asking what all of this was. I opened the door. She stood there with mascara streaked, clutching the note. She said I could not do this, that I could not just throw her out. I told her I could. The lease was mine. She tried to push past me. I blocked the doorway and asked if she had met Aaron. She froze and tried to dodge the question. I asked again. She said yes, but claimed they had only talked and that nothing happened. She said she thought I would fight for her, that I would realize what I was about to lose and step up. She said I was throwing her away like she was nothing. I told her she was the one who said she would leave. I was just helping her follow through. She started to sob. She said she had not meant it, that she just wanted me to show I cared and that she mattered more than my timeline. She said she had been scared. This is a common pattern. Someone creates a crisis to force a big romantic gesture, then calls it love. I told her she did not get to test my love by threatening our relationship. That was not love. That was manipulation. She denied trying to manipulate me. I told her that it had worked, because I had spent the night blaming myself and trying to fix things, until I realized I had done nothing wrong. I asked what Aaron had said at brunch. She said he told her he still loved her and wanted another chance. I asked what she told him. She said she had told him she needed time, so she had given him time and given me a deadline. I told her what I really thought, that she wanted to keep me as backup while she tested the waters with him, that if it did not work out, she would return to safe me and pretend the threat never happened. She tried to deny it, but she hesitated too long. I told her the doorman had her key and that her things were downstairs. I also told her that Tyler's sister had a spare room if she needed somewhere to stay. I had already texted her. She said I could not do this, that we could work through it. I told her we could not. Even if I took her back, I would always wonder if she was staying because she wanted me or because Aaron was not the fantasy she remembered. I said I was not going to live waiting for the next ultimatum. She collapsed onto the floor, crying and telling me she loved me. It took everything in me not to cave, but I thought about future years of this same pattern and I chose to end it. I said goodbye and closed the door. She stayed outside for a while, crying and knocking. Eventually, I heard her head downstairs, then heard Melissa's voice, and then nothing. My phone blew up. Amber, her friends, her mom. I ignored all of it, turned off my phone, and sat in the quiet. The first few days were rough. She texted a lot, switching between apologies and blame. Her friends came by twice. I did not respond. After a while, I blocked her on everything. Tyler dragged me to the gym, introduced me to his kickball league, kept me busy. Having a routine kept me from replaying everything all day. About 3 weeks later, Melissa told me Amber and Aaron had lasted 6 days before he started acting jealous and controlling. Amber had moved back in with her parents and was in a bad place. A small part of me felt sorry for her. A bigger part felt relieved I was not in the middle of that mess. Then I ran into Amber's best friend Lauren at a coffee shop. She asked if we could talk for 5 minutes. I almost said no, but I agreed. She told me she needed to tell me something about Amber and Aaron. I said I did not need details. She said I did, because it was not what I thought. Lauren said Aaron had not reached out first. Amber had contacted him 2 months earlier. She had seen the messages. Amber was the one who had started it, who had been talking to him long before she told me. So while I was being accused of not committing enough, she was already testing her backup plan. I asked why Lauren was telling me this. She said Amber was telling everyone that I had abandoned her over nothing, painting me as the bad guy, and Lauren could not keep watching that. She said I deserved the truth, even if it meant Amber would hate her. This is where outside validation can matter. Sometimes you know in your gut that walking away was right, but hearing the full picture removes any lingering doubt. I left the coffee shop angry but also lighter. I knew I had made the only real choice that protected my future. 2 months later, life looked different. I had a promotion at work, better pay, more interesting projects. I was working out regularly. I had taken a weekend trip to the mountains with Tyler. I had gone on a few casual dates, just seeing what was out there. Then Amber showed up at my building. The doorman called to ask if he should let her up. I hesitated and then said yes. She looked tired. Her hair was shorter. She stood in the hallway looking unsure. She asked if we could talk for a minute. I leaned on the door frame and did not invite her in. I asked what she wanted. She said she wanted to apologize properly. She admitted she had been manipulative. She admitted she had been talking to Aaron behind my back long before she told me. She admitted she had used him to make me jealous and to pressure me into proposing. She said she had been scared of commitment but too proud to admit it, so she made it my fault. She said she had started therapy and was trying to understand why she sabotaged good relationships. She said she had loved me and still did, but understood if it no longer mattered. I told her I appreciated the honesty, but that love without trust was not enough. She asked if I was seeing anyone. I told her that was no longer her business. She nodded, said she should go, then paused and asked if I had really bought myself a ring. I told her I had. A simple titanium band that I sometimes wear as a reminder not to settle for someone who treats my commitment like a test I have to keep passing. She gave a small, sad laugh and said it sounded like me. Then she left. I went back inside, heated up leftovers, called my mom, and talked about ordinary things. My dad's golf game, my mom's garden, my cousin's baby. Normal life. Later, Tyler texted to ask how I was doing. I told him I was really good and asked if he wanted to grab drinks that week. He said he was proud of me. I looked around my apartment, which finally felt like mine, and realized I was proud of me too. Here is what I learned. Lesson 1. An ultimatum wrapped in commit or I leave is not romance. It is pressure, and pressure is not the same as love. Lesson 2. If someone uses their cheating ex as leverage to force your hand, they are already telling you how little they value your trust. Lesson 3. You are allowed to choose your self-respect over staying in a relationship that runs on fear of abandonment and tests. Lesson 4. When someone is lining up a replacement while still with you, it is better to walk away than to compete for a spot you never should have to fight for. Lesson 5. Real commitment is a mutual decision, not a deadline set by one person while they explore other options. What would you have done in his place when she said, "Propose by the weekend, or I am going back to my ex"? Have you ever been given an ultimatum in a relationship, and looking back, do you think it was about love or control?